Hello and welcome to the regular program that brings to you all happenings within Kogi State. Is Kogi in focus and have promised to be informing. I'm Khadijat Mohammed. In today's edition, Kogi government launches distribution of COVID palliatives to the needy. Kogi government to engage 21,000 young men and women on federal public works. Kogi State Polytechnic expelled 25 students for examination malpractice. And on the street, youths react as the world marks International Youth Day. This and many more when we return. Don't go away. Welcome back. The Kogi State government has begun distribution of COVID-19 palliatives donated by the Dangote group of companies. At the official flag-off of the distribution, both the Dangote and the state government highlighted the need to reduce the plight of vulnerable persons in these trying times.
On behalf of COVID Nigeria, through the Executive Governor of Kogi State, Ajaodkuta, will present this to you. Thank you.
The president of Dangote Group's Aliko Dangote was represented by Deputy General Manager Special Duties Dangote Cement Ademola Adeyemi. Adeyemi explained why the company is interested in activities aimed at fighting against COVID-19 and the hardship that comes with it.
Today, the fight for survival has become a necessity, and it is not just the responsibility of the government, it is our collective responsibility, and we all must join the fight to stay alive. We are doing this to help the most vulnerable households that have been affected by the coronavirus.
The Deputy Governor Edward Unija commended the coalition against COVID-19 COVID team led by the Dangote representative. He said the Kogi State has since the outbreak of COVID-19 introduced a number of innovative measures to shield the people from the virus and its attendant hardships.
His Excellency appreciates COVID and the private sector. But he also adds that we should ask, like Oliver Twist, that now that the COVID-19 is wrapping up its maximum effect in the country, our youths will need jobs. Help create jobs for our teeming youths.
Unija said structures are in place to ensure equitable and effective distribution of the palliatives.
You already understand the modus operandi of His Excellency, the leader of Kogi State and the Executive Governor of our state, which is very simple. It is for the very poor and vulnerable that actually deserves it. It is not really for you and I.
Kogi is one of the states least affected by COVID-19, but the series of curfews, lockdowns, and other movement restrictions has affected the livelihoods of people in the state, which has made the donation of these palliatives a most welcome development.
The members of House of Representative Committee on Steel Development have embarked on an oversight visit to Ajaodkuta Steel Company and the iron ore mining company Itape, Kogi State. They were at the Government House Lokoja, where they reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to steel development both within and beyond Kogi State.
Chairman House Committee on Steel Development and House of Reps member of Omala Ankpa and Olamaburu constituency, Abdullahi Ibrahim, said Kogi is endowed with mineral resources which, if properly harnessed, will launch the state to greater heights.
The history of industrialized nations of the world is the history of steel development. A nation that overlooks steel development does so in her own industrialization period, thus making her a consumer nation and a dumping ground for developed economies of the world.
On the iron ore mining company at Itape, the lawmaker said considerable amount of funds has been committed to the project and government is determined to ensure it functions optimally.
What we are here to actually do is to establish the real situation on the ground so that we can report to the parliament. And as a way of parliament, we want to be sure that yes, whatever decision that is going to be taken finally on the Ajaodkuta project will be part of what will suit the entire masses of this country.
Some members of the committee also commented.
It's already in play. It's just a matter of time that we're waiting for so that the Ajaodkuta steel can come to life.
The Ajaodkuta Steel Company Limited sole administrator and the CEO, Smaila Abdul Akaba, commended efforts of the federal government.
Remember that the president was in Russia last year around September, where he met with the Russian President Vladimir Putin, where it was, in principle, it was agreed that on government to government, they will come and help us, the original builder, the TPU, will come and help us complete, modernize Ajaodkuta Steel Plant. Hopefully that will happen very soon after the air restriction is lifted because of the COVID-19.
The Deputy Governor, Edward Onojah, who commended the federal government's efforts concerning Kogi State, also raised the issue of reviving Ajaodkuta Steel Company.
This steel company, once it comes fully into life, we believe will be the largest in Africa, and by that would have a big market to flourish. Beyond that, the job opportunity from estimates, numbers both directly and indirectly to regions of 10,000 and above.
Other visiting lawmakers include Ibrahim Babajide Obanikoro, representing Etiosa constituency in Lagos State, Henry Nwaoba of Imbaise of Imo State, and Lawal Idrisu, representing Ajaodkuta Federal constituency in Kogi State.
The Kogi State government has commended the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy for establishing an Information Technology Innovation Center in the state. Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwo, who gave the commendation in Lokoja ahead of the virtual commissioning of the project by the Minister of Communications, Issa Pantami, said the state is one of the most robust plans for the development of ICT in the country. Fanwo said the federal government, by its action, has aligned with the state government's policy to provoke an ICT revolution in the state with a view to building a generation of young people who are already major players in today's ICT world. He said the establishment of the Information Technology Innovation Center at the Kogi State University will therefore help government's untiring drive at developing an incubation center for hatching what he described as some of the best ICT eggs in the nearest future. The commissioner also disclosed that the Emergency Communications Center established by the Federal Ministry of Communications is also ready for commissioning, adding that the center will be commissioned in the next few weeks by both the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Pantami, and the State Governor, Yahya Bello, whom is committed to the development of ICT in the state. The Academic Board of Kogi State Polytechnic Lokoja has approved the expulsion of 25 students for involvement in examination misconduct. The decision, which was taken at the meeting of the board held on 13th of August 2020, was in line with the recommendation of the Student Examination Malpractice Committee. In a statement signed by the head of Public Relations and Protocol of the school, Mrs. Uredo Omale, the expelled students who were of the School of Management Studies were found guilty of various forms of examination misconduct during the second semester examination for the 2018-2019 academic session. The board at the meeting also approved backlog of results across all schools beginning from the 2016 to 2017 academic session. The board also considered and approved the establishment of the School of Agricultural Technology at the Itape campus of the Polytechnic. The approved School of Agricultural Technology, which is to commence academic activities with national diploma programs in the 2020-2021 session, with future programs such as Animal Health and Production Technology, Agriculture and Bioenvironmental Technology, Horticultural Technology, and Agricultural Environmental Technology. The board, in addition, considered and approved the constitution of 3 committees to handle present academic and disciplinary issues in the Polytechnic. The committees are Result Verification Committee, chaired by the Deputy Rector, Dr. Lamidi Kehinde, The Central Examination Misconduct Committee, chaired by Mr. S.A. Roland of the School of General Studies, and the Student Disciplinary Committee, chaired by the Director of Academic Planning, Mrs. Ruth Haruna. The Results Verification Committee is mandated to thoroughly verify results from schools after departmental and school board meeting before recommending to the academic board for approval. The Central Examination Misconduct Committee is mandated to critically scrutinize cases of examination misconduct or malpractice and report to the academic board for approval. In the same vein, the Students' Disciplinary Committee is to handle all disciplinary issues pertaining to students. Meanwhile, the names and matriculation number of the expelled students are as follows. The Kogi State government says it remains committed to the security of lives and property in the state. The Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwo, who made the pledge while briefing journalists in Lokoja after this week's State Executive Council meeting, also said measures are being introduced to substantially reduce poverty in the state.
We also urge the people to cooperate with security agencies so that the state will continue to enjoy the rave review in terms of commitment to security across the country. He said his administration has drastically reduced the exposure of the state to debt, as well as funding ongoing projects across the state, despite the dwindling resources occasioned by the pandemic that has foisted a new normal on the global community.
Finance Commissioner Asiwaju Idris explained the channels the government intends to use to reach out to the less privileged.
The program is to help the people of Kogi State to recover fast from the economic effects of COVID-19. The program is divided into 3 areas. Each of the resort area has 520 million naira, which is going to be used to help the economy. Resort area 1, we address transfer to the aged people, to the poor and vulnerable, so as to assist them to make a good living. Resort area 2 is to assist our farmers. The resort area 3 has to do with the micro, small, medium enterprises in the state.
He said loans and grants are also part of the poverty alleviation plan.
Minimum is 20,000 for the poor and vulnerable. That is under resort area 1. Resort area 2, which is agric input, you can quantify that one for now. Some will get fertilizer, some will get insecticide, herbicide, and others. While resort area 3, which is about the small businesses, some of them will get 1 million and above, while some of them will get below 1 million, and there are some in the category of 100,000 below. Some will be loaned to be paid back, but some, which is majorly, is going to be grant for them to do their business well.
Around 300,000 households are being targeted to benefit from the scheme, with the least receiving the sum of 20,000 naira. Still on youth empowerment, the state government and federal government Works for Public Service Selection Team said is ready to begin distribution of forms to targeted persons across the 3 senatorial districts. The chairman of the Kogi State Selection Committee for the Special Public Works, Afolabi Raji, who made the decision public in Lokoja after a day seminar with key players, said 21,000 forms will be made available and freely distributed across the 21 local government areas of Kogi State after it has been inaugurated by Governor Yahya Bello.
This project is majorly for the grassroots, and as such, at least 70% of the entire allocation for Kogi State must go to the grassroots, and 30% will will be used to take care of specific preferential allocations.
Afolabi said the initiative is to assist an average Nigerian who is willing to work, noting that the exercise will start from October till December this year. Former chairman of Okene local government area, Abubakar Karaku, said the committee would strictly adhere to the guidelines instituted by the federal government for its distribution. Also, the state chairman of Christian Association of Nigeria, Bishop John Ibenu, youth representatives and other interest groups noted that the established process for its distribution is satisfactory and enjoined youth to embrace entrepreneurial skill to earn a living. They expressed appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for creating the avenue and appealed for the extension of the program to cushion the effect of the pain inflicted on the people who lost their job due to the outbreak of COVID-19.
It's been very satisfactory, and the process is very transparent, and that is what we want to ensure that it is. That it's transparent and that it reaches to the grassroots level. So far, we are very satisfied, especially from my point of view.
It's a good thing because if you can look critically, this lockdown and COVID-19 has made some people to lose their job, and with this, they'll be able to at least feed their family and do one of the things with this meeting. I want to sincerely thank Mr. President and also urge you to do more. If it's even possible, let them increase it from that October to December to like 1 year instead of this 3-month program. If it can be 1 year, 2 years, so that it can cushion the effect of COVID-19.
The Chief of Staff to the Governor, Abdulkarim Jamiu, promised the committee of government decision to support once all needed information is made available.
I want to appreciate the chairman and for all his job he has done. I think at the end of the day, Kogi State will be rated among the top states that meet the criteria for this selection.
The provision of job for public initiative is federal government project through the minister Festus Keyamo to cushion the hardship of COVID-19 on the people. Chairman of the State Selection Committee on Public Work Service Initiative, Afolabi Raji, said religious bodies, market women, youth organizations and other interested groups will be carried along. The Kogi State Commissioner for Youth and Sport, Idris Musa, has advised Nigerian youths to have positive mindset in all they do, saying that this is the only way they can represent the country anywhere they go. Musa gave the advice against the backdrop of the ES International Youth Day with the theme, Youth Engagement for Global Action. In a report, he said Nigeria's greatest asset are the youth and not the resources on ground. He added that Nigerian youth's entrepreneurial spirit, work ethic, and creative abilities are things of pride to the nation and will always be appreciated and nurtured by the present government in Kogi State and that of the federal level. The Commissioner for Sport, while describing youth as future leaders that would make a difference in the political space of the Nigeria, further admonished them not to be used as agents of destruction in the country, but rather stand against all social vices that is detrimental to social development. Musa noted that social vices such as kidnapping, armed robbery, drug trafficking, insurgency, among others, should be condemned by all youths, adding that the present government, under the leadership of Yahya Bello, would continue to provide employment opportunity for youths in Kogi State. He described this year's event as unique amidst the coronavirus pandemic, charged Nigerian youths to always be on the forefront towards advocating for a better society. Musa emphasized that the theme for this year's event is timely, tasking Nigerian youth to always observe the COVID-19 protocols set by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, as part of measures to prevent the scourge of the virus. He promised the youths that the government will continue to prioritize the welfare of the youths and wouldn't relent on efforts to continue to empower them through skills and creating conducive environment for the youths to bring to bear their lucrative ideas. Kogi State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwo, has assured the management of Kogi Pillars Football Club of government support to the team. Kogi Pillars was founded and funded by the Adavi Local Government Administration. The team recently gained promotion to the 3rd division of the Nigerian League. The team manager of Kogi Pillars, Ibrahim Hudu, thanked the commissioner for receiving them and said the support of the state government will be appreciated now that the team will be playing at a higher division. He said the team is made up of players from all the senatorial districts of the state and even from Guinea. The elated Commissioner for Information and Communications commended the team on their deserved promotion. He said their feat has earned the team qualification to win the attention of the state government. Fanwo concluded that the spread of their players is the true spirit of the governor and his administration, that Ebigo is not a word but a way of life which they have demonstrated with the team, that nothing is stronger than unity. Kogi State government has warned that the state would no longer continue to tolerate illegal mining in the state, stating that government would henceforth deal with the issue of illegal mining decisively. The State Commissioner of Solid Minerals, Mohammed Bashir Gegu, disclosed this when he paid an unscheduled visit to some illegal mining sites, adding that illegal mining is causing economic sabotage to the nation. He advised miners in the state to get proper documentation to back their activities. Gegu said the state government would no longer tolerate any leakages in the nation's economy, promising that the state government is ready to cooperate with those who are ready to do genuine business in the state. He urged them to always liaise with his office. He said he will be available to protect their interests and that the state government is ever ready to provide a conducive environment for them to operate. The commissioner, who went into some of the illegal holes dug by the illegal miners, lamented the huge loss of revenue to the government by illegal miners. Gegu said the administration of Yahya Bello is keen to attract investors to the state and will not tolerate illegal activities further. The Kogi State government has reiterated its readiness to combat corruption in the society. The Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwo, disclosed this while receiving the ICPC Commissioner in charge of the state, Mr. Chile Oguebu, Esquire, who led the delegation of ICPC staff to his office in sensitization tour in Lokoja. The ICPC Commissioner thanked the Ministry of Information and Communications for granting the request of the Commission to visit the ministry. He said the objective of the visit is to seek collaboration with the ministry, being the communication voice of the government, and to also urge the state government to set up anti-corruption and transparency units in every ministry, agency, and parastatal. Fanwo told the ICPC officials that the Kogi State government, under the leadership of Governor Yahya Bello, has done better than any of the previous administration before it in building internal anti-corruption combat systems to ensure probity and accountability. Commending the ICPC for devoting attention to preventive rather than enforcement measures against corruption. He said corruption is a terrible sin against humanity and development and must be fought with dynamism and seriousness. He challenged the ICPC to continue to focus on prevention rather than chasing about corrupt people who must have wreaked an unimaginable havoc on the people. Fanwo said Governor Yahya Bello has zero tolerance for corruption and will continue to treat it as a social pandemic that must be fought and defeated for the nation to move forward. He said that the state government is ready to collaborate with ICPC in any area that it can to prevent corruption. Fanwo assured ICPC that government will set up anti-corruption and transparency units and also support their staff to attend the Anti-Corruption Academy. He said that as a government, they are already planning anti-corruption clubs in schools in order to create a generation that abhors corruption. He gave assurance that they will not lose the war against corruption. If you are just joining us, this is Kogi in Focus, a program that keeps you abreast of happenings in and around Kogi. For your information, contribution and event coverage, kindly call the number or reach us via social media handles displayed on your screen. The Kogi State chapter of NACOS has given a meritorious award to a police officer, Joy Onoja, in recognition of her commitment, dedication and diligence to work at Police Traffic Warding Unit on the 12th of August 2020 in Lokoja. The National Association of Kogi State Students, through its national president, Shaibu Enyo, said Joy Onoja's passion in the dispensation of duty is worthy of emulation and commendation. He mentioned that if every other civil servant inculcates such a pattern, then red tapeism will become a thing of the past in civil service. NACOS National Vice President Solomon Babatunde, in his remarks, said Joy Onoja has proven herself as a gallant Kogite whose dedication is exemplary without any iota of corruption. Joy Onoja, in her acceptance speech, thanked the association for finding her worthy of such award. She reiterated her commitment to diligent public service. She also urged civil servants across all sectors to be diligent to work by giving their best to work every time. Kogi State entertainment industry have been urged to support independent television media station, the Ibra Unity Television, first of its kind since the creation of the state. The State Director General, Government House Administration, Shuaibu Umar Oricha, represented by Balogu Omeza David in Okene, Kogi Central, advised the entertainers and movie producers to begin to subtitle their movies and songs in the language the people across the world will understand. He said subtitling in English will not only create a larger audience, but will further generate income for them. Balogun advised the managing director to be prepared to face some challenges that come with pioneering a new station. The leader of movie producers in Kogi Central, Abdulrahman Obansa, popularly called Mario, and the executive director, Calabash Production, has promised to support the newborn television station.
Idea for TV may not be a movie or a music, but Miss Akmakaka, a movie or a music. Mr. Naika, Kore and Kore Yanipata. I didn't my own missy. Oh, baby, movie people, oh, baby, musical people. Yeah, try, and they never try me. Support.
The general manager EUTV, Avoy Nwogo, promised the new TV will do all possible to launch Ibra Nation to the people of the world through its rich programs.
I am happy because it's coming at the time we needed this. It's coming at the time the world has launched into global war, and it's coming at the time that many people will be moved out of labor markets. We have many things to promote in Kogi State. Beautiful tourist centers that have been left in the dark. Beautiful natural resources that to the people of the world. Beautiful manpower that was supposed to showcase that has been down without recognition. Now that EUTV is coming on board, we hope that all these areas of concentration, the areas to which the global world will know and recognize and partner with areas, will be able to be captured in the television, and will be able to project potentials in the human capital and of course in the economic center.
Artists and other stakeholders who attended the seminar commended the founder.
Television is audio and visual. As you are hearing, you are watching. Color. They don't need to change the light. The original color is there. And information is on words. If you don't have information, you lose.
At least now we have an avenue through which we can propagate, through which we can tell the entire world where we are coming from, who we are.
It's a blessing to the entire country, to Kogi State, and to the Idris as a whole. I'm overwhelmed for being given the opportunity I'm so much happy.
We are so much happy for this TV because it's what Ibra people are aiming for, what we've been asking for, praying to do. When with the introduction of Tawo FM, we see how radio station rise up in this town. So having the Ibra TV now will equally give us opportunity that Ibra is rising as well. Most of our cultural heritage has been, let me just say, we're just doing it within the locality. We'll now be showcasing to the world.
I think it's one of another milestone for Ibra community. Ibra have been they have been one of the greatest nations in this country. Doing excellently in all notifications. And it's not a new thing today that the television is launched. They have been in other television stations before today they decided to launch theirs. So automatically, I think it's a very fine beginning.
Yeah, we look forward to see TV promoting the Ibra culture, promoting decency, passing messages to our people, especially our people in diaspora. Because we have some of our people that they've not been around for a very long time. Their children does not even know how to speak our language. They don't even know what our culture looks like. So we thank God that this is an avenue for them to start learning our culture, to know that this is where it came from, this is how they behave, this is how it's supposed to be.
The managing director, Ibra Unity Television, Momo Ibrahim Onimisi, said the vision is to project all Ibra across Kogi, Nasarawa, Edo, and Abuja.
The vision of Ibra Unity TV is very straight and simple. It's to sell our culture globally. What I mean by culture, Ibra culture. People need to know, the world, the globe need to know that Ibra exists in Africa, specifically in Nigeria.
Onimisi called on the entertainment industry to continue to improve on their production, noting that the TV will always support them to get a greater height. The television is the first and only TV that has made its relevance spreading across all states where Ibra form part of their local dialects across the nation, Nigeria. Kogi State Deputy Governor Edward Onija celebrated his 46th birthday in God's presence at the Government House Chapel, Lokoja. Edward Onija said in an interview segment with online media that his joy is to continue to give life meaning through education, scholarship, and other aspects of life that brings joy to humanity. He thanked God for his life. And from the Kogi Gogo production, we wish you a happy birthday and many more fruitful years to come. Police operatives attached to the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, Kogi State Command, have arrested 5 suspected kidnapping syndicates who have been terrorizing Kogi State and its environs. The arrest is sequel to the crime prevention strategies and control adopted by the command under the leadership of CP Ede Ayuba Epeji, the Commissioner of Police, to rid Kogi State of crimes and criminalities. The suspects were arrested based on a tip-off that some criminal elements were sighted in a place negotiating on how to purchase arms and ammunition in preparation for a kidnapping operation. The police team promptly swung into action and arrested the following suspects: Idris Haruna, Adamu Abdullahi Yaro, Abdullahi Muhammad Yuguda, Ali Garba, and Muhammad Idris. The Police Public Relations Officer, Kogi State Command, DSP William Ovie Aya, who made the information available to journalists in Lokoja, said all the suspects will be charged to court on conclusion of investigation. To this end, the Commissioner of Police, Ede Ayuba Ipeji, assures members of the public that Kogi State Police Command, in synergy with other security agencies, is determined to provide adequate security for all. Prayer session was organized for late Hajia Avosahi Suleiman in her hometown in Egani, Ajaodkuta local government area of Kogi State. The prayer was organized to mark a decade remembrance of late Hajia Halimat Avosahi Suleiman in the Central Mosque, Badoko, Egani in Ajaodkuta local government of Kogi State. Ohiete of Utenyi Ajaodkuta, His Royal Highness Ibrahim Musa Balemo, described late Hajia Halimat as an industrious woman with positive attitude towards everyone.
Abdukarimu, Onabachi, Bahire, Umure, Basi Izeza, Obasio, Asona about Umura, Asona about Urudibi, Omema Me, Kanyan Nan, Onyani Mba, Oba Tamayan, Oba Ireman, Yukuniba Ireman.
Her son, Abdukarim Onyeke Suleiman, who is the state government appointee overseeing the affairs of National Social Investment Program, said his mother was a philanthropist, an entrepreneur, a lover of children, and a disciplinarian. He said her training brought him this far.
My mother was a very loving mother, and she cared a lot for a lot of people, especially children and everybody around her. She was a devoted Muslim from a devoted Muslim family. So, and I thought it wise to organize this prayer, 10 years remembrance, inside the mosque. My mother was virtually everything to me and to many others. She was a disciplinarian, she was a humanitarian, she was a great teacher, she was an instructor. In fact, she teaches skill acquisition because she was a master of home economic center those days of our mothers.
Family members and well-wishers echo same.
We could not forget Mama even after 10 years. We pray that all her children that she left, they are going to prosper, progress, and every other good things in life.
I'm the namesake of my father's mom, and I'm here to present her, and I love her, and I regard loves and kisses to her, and I pray for her, and all the wishes I gave to her. Anywhere she is, her soul must rest in peace.
I was at a very tender age when I got to know. In fact, at first I thought she was my mother. She's a very wonderful woman. She loves everybody. She loves the children. She loves her entire family and everybody in the community.
Today we were here for the 10th years anniversary of our late mother, Hajia Halimat. So we pray that the children, her children that she left behind, God will protect them. God will move them forward. The age that she did not attain, all her children will even go more and more. They will live old. They will never die young.
The prayer session was graced by Commissioner for Health, Dr. Saka Haruna, traditional rulers, family members, and well-wishers across, within, and outside Kogi State. Late Hajia Halimat Avosahi Suleiman died on the 13th of August 2010 at the age of 66. She is survived by 7 children. It was an atmosphere of joy spread everywhere in Okene as the son of the Ohinoi of Ibra land, Malik Ado Ibrahim, got married to the daughter of the famous billionaire Ali Indimi, Adama Indimi. The occasion was graced by all and sundry of the land and beyond. wedding ceremony was held in the palace of Ohinoi of Ibra in Okene, where we have dignitaries present, including the Obaro of Kaba, Oba Michael Olobayo, Ohimege Igwe of Kotokarfi, His Royal Majesty Abdulrazak Issa Koto, Minister of FCT State Ramatu Tijani, Senator Smart Adeyemi representing Kogi West, clergymen, other traditional rulers, family members, friends and well-wishers.
We pray to God to bless them with love, bless them with wealth, bless them with health, and bless them with a lot of children.
It's advisable that they should have zeal to live a peaceful life so as to be able to get to the age at which the father and the royal father have got to now.
As far as I'm concerned, our prince has made a very good choice. They have been friends for quite some time, studying one another, and at the end of the day, they decided to come together, for better, for worse, which was summarized exactly a week ago in Maiduguri. Today, His Majesty has arranged a befitting wedding ceremony for both of them. I'm particularly happy that I am involved in this marriage arrangement by virtue of my position.
If you see the other person's weakness, you can give them some of your strength, so to balance. But I just want to say I'm so happy for the couple. They complement each other really, really well. It's like a match made from heaven, and I'm so excited to see what the future has in store for them both.
I hope they go together to understand each other and be with each other, and they should always be with each other.
Ohinoi, in his message to the couple, advised them to understand the bedrock of a marriage, which are love, trust, and understanding. Senator Smart Adeyemi prayed for an everlasting love and happiness in the couple's new home. He advised the couple to learn to trust and tolerate each other.
They should love each other, they should worship their God, and they should try to live peacefully with other neighbors and Nigerians. There's no doubt that we are starting on a very solid ground.
In a congratulatory message to the couple, the Talba of Ibra land, Hamza Usman, prayed God to protect and preserve their new home.
Every couple has an opportunity to start their own story, and I have every confidence that this will be a very beautiful love story, Bi-Iznillah. So we're not going to give them advice, we are going to pray for them, that may their journey be sweeter than those before them. May their journey become exemplary for many others to want to follow.
Some of the activities held at the event include cultural dance and musical display by various artists. The wedding procession was concluded with horse parade. Now on the streets this week, our focus is International Youth Day. The International Youth Day is a United Nations designated day where youths from different countries engage in events and discussion on socio-economic and socio-political issues affecting their lives. In 1999, the United Nations General Assembly endorsed the recommendation made by the World Conference of Ministers responsible for youth in Lisbon that August 12 be declared International Youth Day.
The challenges are insecurities, high cost of living, cost of
materials, especially the work I do, and so on. And I would plead with the government to like at least job opportunities to be created for youths like we that are graduates. I'm not actually happy working here because I'm a graduate, but the fact that there's no work anywhere, I just had to help parents and siblings.
As a young person living in Nigeria, we've actually been brought up with the idea of facing challenges virtually every day. But I believe the idea of youth not having the opportunity to actually maximize their, skills, either academically or otherwise, is a great challenge that we're facing in Nigeria. There are capable youth. So many persons are graduating from universities or, let's just say, the tertiary institution, and they are left to go back home to look for menial jobs to do. If there are programs that could be created to help them.
It is said that youths are the leaders of tomorrow. And from the age of 23 upward, I believe every reasonable youth will start thinking from there. You believe there are some things you need to start doing now. Different responsibilities will come on. As then you will think a lot. But then as a Nigerian youth, man, you just have to struggle for yourself.
If the government, put their head straight, do their thing, no lies, no corruption, which I feel is somehow not easy. But if with God, everything is possible.
I'm a graduate, okay. I studied computer science in school, but because of lack of opportunity, I had to divert to, I am into baking and pastry making now, of which is not what I studied in school, but because I'm not able to get the proper connections to get a job or something, I could not get a job, and so now I'm just self-employed, of which I'm supposed to be using my certificate or something. So by putting the proper people in charge of youth employment programs, creating more job opportunities for youth, and not fixing the old people, at least people retire during when it's supposed to be their retirement times and everything, putting us in places where we are supposed to be, and not cutting us off opportunities when the time comes.
As Nigerian youth, we don't have opportunity to make choice for ourselves. You get, as a Nigerian youth, okay, there are some people that want to, let's say, for instance now, some people want to go into modeling and all that. But for the fact that they already spend modeling for us here in Nigeria, our parents feel, okay, this one is not good. And as a lady, we face many challenges when it comes to modeling. And also, in school, they tend to say, okay, you study medicine, you study maybe theater art and all that. And going back to marriage, there are some parents that force their children to marry because of their financial background. The government can help us enlighten our parents more on forcing their child to do what they want them to do.
This is where we wrap it up on today's edition. Please join us next week, same time, same station. I am Khadijat Mohammed, saying to you to keep doing to others what you want them to do to you. Keep the prevention measures of COVID-19 to avoid contracting the virus. Goodbye.